All right, here we go. Cam Jenkins. Listen, catching up with you now after a Westerville North stint. You wrestled my son, and seeing you here, we're at Immortal MMA training, right? And running into you basically here. Fill me in, man. So, Westerville North, high school, wrestling. Then you go off and wrestle at Ashland.
Yes.
You're done. You graduated Ashland.
Yes.
You still have maybe one more year of eligibility left. Right. But so Ashland, and now back home, right?
Yeah.
So what brings you here to train MMA? I know that's a lot, but
so it really led with so Lucas Sieber. Obviously, he went to Wrestle North with me. We grew up together, and then we ended up. He trained here until he moved down to Pittsburgh. He brought me in here. I came to a couple wrestling practices, and then I met Josh. Lucas moved down to Pittsburgh, and ever since then, me and Josh have been real close. And since then, he's just, I'm here now. This is where I train at. So that's how that started.
Okay, so maybe I went a little too far. Wrestling is one thing, and then obviously the MMA side of things too. Does one has to do with the other, but there's a separate wrestling, practice going on here in team, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so you guys are training wrestling. How often do you get to do that?
So we do it every Wednesdays and Sundays.
Okay.
So really a lot of work in the cage. Like what we do here with DJ, it's like wrestling for MMA, and it helps a lot. Just like working in those close positions, getting that right head position so you'll get punched in the face when you're in there on a shot, just all that. So it really works those crucial, those little tiny areas that you need to do in order to protect yourself when you're wrestling in MMA.
Okay, so I'm a wrestling junkie, but I'm a moron.
Okay.
So this is the first interview that I've done for Ohio Matt Media when it comes to MMA.
Okay.
So I love what you're saying about, wrestling in the cage. It's different.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
So mentally, the mindset of when you go to a wrestling practice now and when you're practicing to fight, when you're practicing in the cage, what's the mental shift from that and, wrestling Division II at Ashland?
I'd say for me it's about the same, just because like when I'm ready to go, like I'm just ready to go. Like I know when I'm on my way to the gym, I got my pump up playlist going. I'm really okay. I'm about to like kick someone's ass. This is what I'm here to do. Same thing when I'm at wrestling practice, going into Ashland. I put my headphones on. I do whatever I need to prior to practice, and then once I walk into that room, I'm just okay. Time to let it go.
But physically, you got to be careful because you don't want to get punched in the face.
Absolutely.
So there's got to be, this is where the moron part comes in. There's got to be different ways that you are wrestling in a cage.
Yeah. So
point out a couple of them for me.
There's not going to be a ton of shots from space from what I can tell. Obviously, you go in, you take a shot from far away, you're probably getting kneed in the face, punched in the face, hit with the uppercut, anything can happen there. A lot of times, like if you try to, just like you would do in a regular wrestling match, it's just like now there's walls instead of just a circle. So you try to corner someone in, try to like urge them to go in this certain corner or wherever you want them to go. Then once you're in that position, then you can take your shot once you close the distance. You just gotta make sure your guard's up. I know I like to do like a throw overhand and then drop right into my shot from there because they're protecting their face, and while they're protecting their face, their legs are open for me to score. So.
You're fighting off your back too more, which in wrestling that's the opposite. You want to go to your belly, right? If for some crazy reason you get taken down, you're gonna fight off your belly. So, jiu-jitsu comes into play. I know. Again, I'm new at the crossover. I understand there's a big crossover, and I understand the success of wrestlers that they have at the MMA level. I get it, but I got to think it's a different. You've got to bring a lot of other disciplines into this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. As far as jiu-jitsu goes, I'm not the best jiu-jitsu guy. Like I'm really good at taking people down. I have good defense, but as far as submissions, I'm a bit lacking there. That's something definitely I need to work on when I come back from my injury. It's really different. Like you said, fighting off your back is somewhere you never want to be in wrestling, and here in jiu-jitsu, it's like, oh, you go there so you can pull submissions. I'm like, this is crazy to me. So a lot of the times when I'm in here training, people go straight to their back. I'm like, okay, now I got to find a way to like pass their guard, whatever I need to do, which usually ends up me trying to hitting a flying squirrel on them just so I can pass their guard and land on the other side.
Okay.
It also catches people off guard a lot, so that's kind of what I go for.
I smile when you say flying squirrel because that's like a desperation move in wrestling.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes it does work. Yeah. Right? So seeing that out here would be cool. All right, I gotta ask you about DJ and the training that you receive here. spoke with him briefly off camera, and man, you know, all the information that he's given me, all the background that he has.
Yes.
One of the key takeaways I get from this, Cam, is that he runs this like you're kind of a family.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
So that's refreshing to a guy like me because, again, from a distance, I'm thinking MMA is about kicking people's asses.
Yeah.
But the family aspect, tell me about that. What are you getting here?
So DJ is really, he's a huge family guy, as you can tell. I mean, the second you're on the team, it's like you're walking into this whole other big family, really. It's like a home away from home. He always makes sure you have what you need. And he's always there for you, even if you need to talk. I know after I hurt my knee again, I was pretty down, and he always made sure to check up on me and make sure my head was in the right space. And I really appreciate that from him, because a lot of times you have coaches or people who like say they care about you, and then you get hurt, like, oh, okay, well, now you're of no use to me, right. So time to move on. But he's always been there. He drove, actually, when I heard it, he drove me to like 2 urgent cares to try to get me an MRI that day. Drove me home, so he's a great guy. As far as everyone else there, I mean, I've known Josh for a while. I've met these guys who also train at Ronin. Met them, clicked right away, and we're all just one big family now. Especially with the last event we just had, that was sweet. Like having everyone together, showing like, hey, this is what we're about. And this, we want to bring people in. We want everyone to feel like they're included. Even like my girlfriend got in the picture with us. She's not on the team, but she's part of my life. And so DJ was like, she's important to you. She's important to me. And that's why she was in the picture. So it's great, honestly.
You got to think that that's going to breed success, right?
Absolutely.
So tell me about the events a little bit more. When you say, you know, the whole team went to the event, and, you know, coach is out there telling me about he's my, you know, this weight and this weight and this weight, and not knowing exactly how the events work. Tell me just briefly about how that works. Ohio Fight Combat League, right?
Yeah. So OCL is where a lot of people fight. One of the promotion a lot of people fight under. I know B2 is a big one.
Okay. And
I know Lucas is fighting for Cage Thunder.
Okay.
And then also, what is it called? 247.
Okay.
So that's down in Pittsburgh or Erie area.
Okay.
So like they all fight under different promotions depending on who they want to fight and who they can get to fight them. So as far as the event goes, so that was like, we were trying to bring everyone, like this is the first showing of all of us. It was also like a training camp type thing, and also like brand building and everything else. We had Fortune Ohio here, so that was super cool. They're up and coming MMA podcasts and everything, so it was great to see that.
Okay. So you mentioned Lucas Siebert, obviously another Westerville North kid. You already mentioned that at the beginning of this. What's Coach Grant doing over there to produce fighters? Are you guys doing more than just wrestling in that room?
I think Grant brings us up in the wrestling room where we're ready, because we know as wrestlers, like, you should be prepared to fight out there. It's a fist fight with rules is what I feel like wrestling is. And so when we're out there, he brings us up to be tough, mean, but also caring and be considerate of other people. So I think that's really where it like breeds those like champions, those like hard asses that are like, hey, like when we're in here ready to work. And I'm always ready for a fight because I've been prepared for this. I've been pushing my limits. I've been pushing my boundaries. I've done everything I can to prepare myself for that moment, whether it's a match or whether it's like, hey, time to go into MMA. We're ready to go either way. So I think that's what really breeds that success, because he brings us up to be that way and want the best for ourselves and strive to be the best.
From everything that I can tell, that's just a reflection of him as a coach,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
As a person, he reflects that on the mat. All right, so tell me about what your goals are here. What are your goals? What do you want to do? What are the next steps to get you to your goals, and what are your goals?
So first, got to recover from this ACL injury. Third surgery coming up here, so obviously that's kind of a bummer. But after that, I mean, get my leg strength back, get right back to training, and then hopefully have my first fight. I mean, as of right now, that's where I'm headed. Hopefully to recover as fast as I can, but we'll see how it goes.
So in wrestling, we say, I want to be a state champ. I want to be a national champ. I want to be is it one fight at a time here? And you just, hey, I want to just get a shot, and then I'll get another shot, and then I'll get another shot. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair for sure. I think with my mindset, I always had, going through high school, I said I wanted to be a state champ. I want to do this, I want to do that. And then when I didn't reach those goals, it was like completely debilitating. It was like, oh, well, now I suck because I didn't reach my goals. So like this last year up at Ashland, the only goal I made for myself was I'm going to be the best wrestler I can be, and that's all I focused on, and I ended up being ranked 11th in the country at 165. So that's just how my mind works. For others, those big goals might be what they need, but for me, I like to start off just like, if I'm making myself better every day, then I don't want to set a limit to where my goal is. So sky's the limit as far as I'm concerned.
I love it, man. I love it. All right. Cam Jenkins, thank you for your time. It's great to catch up with you. What else you got for us at Ohio Matt Media?
Watch out for DJ Train, guys. We're coming for you.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate it.